In a bustling town where everyone knew everyone's name, there existed a bike shop that had a reputation of its own. It was the kind of place where grease stains on your overalls were a badge of honor and where the language of engines was more understood than the spoken word. Here, among the clanging of tools and the aroma of motor oil, the air was thick with unspoken tensions, especially for a man named Terrence. Terrence wasn't just any mechanic. He was black, quiet, and hardworking. A man who let his tools do the talking. In a shop full of guys who didn't look like him, Terrence was often mocked. His taste in music, his homemade lunches, and even the way he spoke. Yet, he endured. He had bills to pay, a sick mom to care for, and dreams that were bigger than their hate. One scorching afternoon, the midday heat was broken by the sound of a loud Harley Davidson rumbling into the shop. Chrome glistening in the sun, engine growling like a tamed beast. On the bike sat a large man, his face hidden behind a skull-patched helmet. His tattoos peeked from under his leather jacket, hinting at the stories they held. As he swept his gaze around the room, eyes narrowed, he stared everyone down, challenging them silently. The other mechanics froze, their faces paling as if they'd seen a ghost. Fear hung heavy in the air, thick and suffocating. They shuffled back, whispering amongst themselves, but no one dared to step forward, except Terrence. When the silence stretched too long, Terrence stepped forward, offering his hand in a friendly gesture. "You got bike trouble?" he asked calmly. His voice was like a beacon cutting through the tension. The man looked at his hand, then back at Terrence. A flicker of surprise crossed his face before he nodded, pointing to a broken belt and a rattling sound. Without hesitation, Terrence got to work. He didn't judge the man under the helmet, nor the inked skin peeking from beneath his jacket. He saw only a customer needing a repair. For the next 2 hours, the shop fell silent, the only sound the rhythmic clang of Terrence's hammer. By the time he was done, the engine purred like a well-fed cat, the rattling now a distant memory. As Terrence wiped his hands on a rag, the biker approached him, a hint of a smile under his helmet. But before Terrence could bask in the satisfaction of a job well done, a voice shattered the quiet. "What do you think you're doing?" Their boss stood there, his face twisted with anger. "We don't serve those kind here," he spat, his eyes darting between Terrence and the biker. "Those kind," Terrence echoed, confusion evident in his voice. "You and him." The boss sneered, gesturing wildly. "You're fired," he barked, the words hanging in the air like a death sentence. Terrence felt his stomach drop, but he nodded, his chin held high. As he walked out of the shop, the biker's heavy footsteps echoed behind him. He knew the boss had made an enemy of a powerful man, but he couldn't have known just how powerful until that same evening, when a convoy of motorcycles, all blacked out, rolled into the shop. The leader, the very same Hell's Angel from earlier, stood tall amidst his brothers, his presence commanding respect and fear in equal measure. The sight was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. The Hell's Angel stepped in, his eyes scanning the room. His gaze lingered on the spot where Terrence had been working. He was looking for Terrence. The manager swallowed nervously, knowing the trouble that had brought him. "Where's Terrence?" the Hell's Angel asked, his voice a low rumble. When the manager learned that Terrence had been fired, his face drained of color. He knew he'd made a terrible mistake. But the Hell's Angel wasn't there to listen to excuses. He had a promise to keep. That night, the Hell's Angel found Terrence fixing bikes behind a gas station. He was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. He offered Terrence a job at his main dealership. Not just any job, but a position that would change Terrence's life. Better pay, full health coverage for his mom, and a custom shop of his own. Terrence, who had never let the hate break his spirit, didn't say a word. He simply nodded, his eyes shining with gratitude. Months flew by and Terrence was a success. He ran his own bike garage, a testament to his skill and resilience. But that was not the only change he brought. He hired mechanics who were once rejected because of their looks, beliefs, or past. Terrence didn't just fix bikes, he fixed lives. And as for the former boss, he watched Terrence's success with envy, realizing too late that real power doesn't come from how loud your engine is, but from the strength of your heart.